Alright, so here's the right panel removed. I went ahead and put this little knob back on. You can see there's a little reflector tape I put on there just so I can read the RPM a little easier. So, I mean, the correct way to do this is still to time it off the counter. This is probably like, I don't know, within like 2% accurate. I was finding, but I can do that and go ahead and get it with that. It's kind of hard to hold this thing and do this at the same time. That's not right. Anyway, it's closer to like 629 right now. That's kind of just more to ballpark it. But I realized when I made the original video that I didn't really get as many shots of just things operating just to show them operating, which is kind of, I like to do that on the videos just so if someone's trying to fix one of these, they can see like, oh, this part over here is supposed to do this at this time, because half the time when I'm trying to find videos on YouTube of these things, it's like I'm not even really listening to what people are saying if I'm looking for one like specific little thing. So this is this is just the right side, but it's got all the operation levers on it, and there's a pretty good amount of stuff that's moving around in here. So I'm going to go ahead and just run through the operations. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and do, I guess, just addition. Here's a repeat addition. I'm going to hit some things on the keyboard. That's doing the repeat addition right now. I guess I'll do a repeat subtraction here. It's going to underflow. Yep. So now we're below 0. Addition, subtraction, addition, subtraction. Go ahead and clear the keyboard. I'm going to clear the lower dials, clear the upper dials. So that's lower, the right button, and then upper. This is the non-entry lever going up, going down, with the changeover register lever, I guess it's called, it's just the counter direction. So this is counter going positive for multiplication, reverse for division. You can see the non-entry lever kind of interlocking with that. So if I set the non-entry lever down, do this, and then do the, I guess it's the lock lever, it's kind of weird, but I can set them in that position, or I can set them in this position. So right now, non-entry is halfway, changeover is reversed. Put them back. If I do this, so this is the non-entry on, changeover is locked in the middle. If I pull down this locking lever, now they're whatever. Multiplier is in, or the changeover is positive, non-entry is off. Anyway, the verse, there's the, repeat, non-repeat, repeat, non-repeat. So in non-repeat, it's just going to only do something once. Go ahead and do the carriage shift here. So this is moving the carriage to the, I guess, the right. So that's obviously towards the camera because it's getting really big. I have the division stop, or the tab stop, set in the middle, so that's why it's stopping halfway through, or in the middle, I guess. So this is carriage all the way to last position. I'm going to hold this down. The carriage shifts do a little loop. Go the other way again. Alright, so I'm going to enter something in the multiplier here. It's just a bunch of 3s. And now I'm going to multiply by, I guess, some, just whatever I pressed. Alright, go ahead and hit this again, which will clear everything, put it back in first position. Okay, so that's multiplication. I'm going to do a division. So this is the dividend tab button. So in my case, I have a tab stop button in the kind of middle pressed. So if I do this, it's going to go all the way to the right, and this is repeatedly hitting the vision tab, button. Alright, hit the multiplier, the clear multiply button, which will move it halfway to the middle, and then it will stop at the tab stop. So it's away. I'm going to hit it again. It'll go all the way to first position and stop. If I'm already at first position, it just kind of indexes one and then goes back, basically in between the two little spots on the little sliding thing here. So there's that. I guess I'll do an actual division. So clear everything out. I'm going to type in a standard 355 on the far right side of the keyboard and hit division, whatever. So it's entered the dividend, and I'm going to divide by 113. Hit the divide button. All right. I think the only other thing is just the division stop button. So if I have nothing entered in anything right now, I'm going to hit divide. So now it's just going to try to divide 0 by 0 forever. Counter register is going to go up forever. So the division stop button, hit that. And then it takes a second, but then it does stop the division there. So hopefully, if you're trying to figure out something that's messed up on this side, you'll just be able to, I guess, just kind of look at this thing. It's very fast right now. I've got it set at the actual 635 RPM, and it's just, I've never seen a machine run this fast, and I'm kind of scared, but I have been told not to set it below the design, because if you do that, it will have issues. The instantaneous loads during operation won't be able to be overcome, and things will get jammed up. So far, no issues at this speed, but let me get a shot of that. Alright, so I'm hoping this is the last time I have to take this thing apart to retime it or set the speed again, because I'm getting really tired of doing that. Anyway, this I wanted to point this out because I believe I have figured out why this thing kept slowing down on me. So I'm going to run the motor here. The points on mine were really misaligned. I mean, right now they're not, I guess, like perfectly aligned or whatever, and there's barely some sparkage going on there. But in order to get this thing to stop slowing down every time I would set the speed on this, which, you know, I would set it to 635, give or take, 620, and then I would run it for a day or two, and it would get down to 600. So there was something going on that was causing this to slow down, and I had assumed it had something to do with the fact that this was not aligned, and maybe the wear was causing it to prematurely get, you know, farther out, and whatever. But I didn't know this until I dug around, just kind of poking and prodding and seeing what I could figure out. There's a little screw down here that I'm poking with the poker right there. I want to see, it's kind of hard to get any kind of shot of this thing, but that screw down there, there's two screws that mount the bracket holding the speed adjustment screw down on the bottom here. And these are accessible through two little holes on the side plate. I'm going to stick the probe through there. So there's the screw, and it's a little slotted screw. You can just kind of adjust it like this. So in my case, all I had to do was unscrew the screw slightly, move the bracket so that it was better aligned, tighten it back down, and then I set it to 637, 640, I think, this time, just to kind of whatever. I'm thinking that it'll take it, but anyway, now that I've done that, I believe that this will be the final, I'm hoping this will be the final time I'll have to take this thing apart, and hopefully I'm done making videos on this one, because that first video I made was like an hour, and the entire of the video it was running at the wrong speed. So hopefully this little secondary part 2 of this will clear all that up. And again, I'm really grateful for John Wolff for letting me know the RPM on this, because apparently there's like nowhere to find this. Like they don't advertise the RPM for some reason of 635 for both this model and the I think it's the 6N, which is pretty similar to this, but I'm kind of shocked because if that's a lot faster than practically any machine out there. So I would be having that number plastered on all of my advertisements and on the manuals, but it's not for some reason. But anyway, if you're watching this 20 years from now on whatever YouTube has become trying to fix one of these, I'm hoping you're able to get this thing running. This thing is definitely one of the most difficult calculators I've ever worked on to just figure out anything about it whatsoever or repair any part of it that's like there's so many adjustments. It's so hard to even things like trying to move this thing around. There's nowhere to grab onto. Everything is a tiny little lever that is very, thin and you don't want to bend it. Anyway, so despite all that, 635 RPM is incredibly fast, and this is like the most useful calculator I've ever used, like automatic, mechanical. Like this thing, with the way the multiplier is set up and the way that it runs so fast, it's if I had to choose between this and a Frieden, I'd probably at this point choose this thing as long as it works. But if I have any issues with this, I'll definitely look back into getting a Frieden because those things are just considerably overbuilt compared to this. I mean, it's like mine was, I think the one I worked on recently, the ST10, like literally just fell out of the UPS truck and it still was fine. Anyway, there's a little update on setting the RPM and the correct speed setting for this thing.